Good morning, everyone. It's May 12th, 13th, 2019. And I'm Eric. So, I've talked some about the economy recently, and not a lot, though. And the reason being is there's other people out there who do a better job of it, but like Gregory Mannarino and Silver Report Uncut, those two do an excellent job at covering the economy. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the trade war going on between the United States and probably the rest of the world, really, but mainly focus on China. Now, everyone expected Donald Trump to save the economy, but they already knew that this was not going to pan out. Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, they knew that there's no saving the economy. And in fact, Donald Trump was put there to make matters worse, and he has. As a result of Trump's trade war with China, our food prices are creeping upwards. And that's one of many variables creating our food prices to rise. But that's the variable I'm going to focus on right now, and it's not just food prices. You think that maybe Chinese goods aren't, still being imported into the United States at the volume they were, and they're not. But people are still buying them, and as a result of this trade war, all these prices are rising as a form of punishment on China. And they theorize that by putting tariffs or adding taxes onto Chinese goods to the consumer, that somehow it's punishing China. And it is to a small degree. A small degree. But the real victims of their trade war is the everyday consumer. So over here at Zero Hedge, there's a couple of articles I'd like to draw your attention to. I'm not going to read them to you, but I will leave the links in the description box so that you can. I'm going to hit the introduction paragraph. There's a couple of them. Beijing has defied President Trump's demands that it not resort to retaliatory tariffs and announced plans to slap new taxes on $60 billion in U.S. goods. And that's peanuts compared to the tariffs or levies put on China. So there's that. Yeah, that's the first one. Dow dumps over 550 points, breaks below critical technical support as another dead cat dies. Trader, this reminds me of how stocks traded in late 2007. Of course, that is about the time where our current recession began. A lot of people want to say that we've been in a recovery for this whole time, but this is not true. If it were true, then we wouldn't be about to plummet back to where we were back in 2007 through 2009. Yes, things got a little bit better, but they did not recover. It's a mistake to view the entire world through the lens of a few stock market indexes and declare a a measured truce has been achieved pending the inevitable peace agreements. It reminds me of how shares traded in 2007. Gold surges back above $1,300 on huge volume as trade tensions escalate. Why is Bitcoin soaring? Thank Trump and the trade war. Yeah. Oil jumps after Saudi admits 2 tankers attacked as Iran tensions war soar. China car sales tanked 16.6% in April, falling for a record 11 months in a row. So yes, China is being punished, but not to the extent that that the consumer is being punished. Uber sell-offs worsen, shares tumble 5%, slide below $40 one day after IPO. S&P futures yuan tumble, dollar surges as U.S.-China turns ugly. The risks of full-blown trade war has materially increased, even though both sides seem to still want a trade deal, and talks are expected to continue. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not meant to. Trump. Beijing will be hurt very badly if they retaliate with more tariffs. And not only are they retaliating with tariffs, but they're retaliating with bond dumping. There will be nobody left in China to do business with. I talked about that some. That's not related to what I'm talking about. Okay. Odds point to a worst case scenario. Shock traders respond to latest trade war twist. The biggest problem is the huge disconnect with what markets have been hoping for and what is transpiring now. Markets had priced their best case scenario, and odds are shifting towards the worst case scenario. So Donald Trump is not this economic fucking genius, this business genius everyone makes him out to be. He really isn't. He's really not a business genius. He is somebody fortunate enough to know the right people and to be able to talk them into lending him money for different ventures, different businesses. And, well, anybody can look rich if they have that. But a real businessman, a real good one, his debt will be almost nothing. If a businessman is in debt to the point Donald Trump is, and many others, then they're probably really not that good of businessmen. They're just good at running their mouths. And people continue to think that guys like Donald Trump are brilliant tacticians. They're not. They break every rule in the art of war. Every one. Which is why our military hasn't won any war since World War II. And Russia did most of the work. So, you keep electing morons, and this is what's going to happen. I would say every president since, oh God, I would say since Washington personally, but I'm sure others would argue with me. But I think probably every president since Washington has been a fucking train wreck in one way or another. And we keep doing the same thing generation after generation, year after year, and we expect one of these people to save us when history shows they just don't do that. History shows they make things progressively worse until it all comes crashing down. Am I lying to you? I think you know I'm not. I think you know that I do my absolute best to tell you the truth. Uh, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to not have a bias towards one political party or another. I'm here and to point out all the evils done in our name, all the crimes committed by law enforcement, all the crimes committed by the billionaires, their intentions. It is my job to tell you the truth about it. And yes, it is self-appointed. And the reason why I appointed myself to this position, or whatever you want to call it, is because, man, nobody else tells it like that. Nobody. They will tell you that you're under attack in one breath, but in the next breath will say that there are nonviolent solutions. You can't reason with serial killers. You can't reason with people who want you dead. It defies logic. So if you want a real logical point of view, if you want an unbiased point of view, I'm probably the best you're going to get. Ben Swann is pretty non-biased too, but he's a real pretty boy. He's afraid to say things that might get him in trouble. I don't give a shit. And there's a few people out there, but mostly they're trying to sell as much shit as they can while they can, so they can have as much gold and silver and survival items built up for the big event. Me, I'm trying to do you a service. I'm not trying to sell you a motherfucking thing. That's what I'm trying to do. And if I have to go work a shitty job to support my channel and myself while this stuff is going on, then so be it. So if you like my content, if you like the fact that I'm not biased and I do my best to tell the truth, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and donate something to my PayPal account. It doesn't matter how much. It could be $1. It will help offset the hours I don't work. Really, that's what it's for. I have a subscription to my Screencast-O-Matic software due. I just so happen to have enough money in my PayPal account to pay that, and it's because of you. So, anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and remember, kill the state, live free.